Have you ever looked at a jar of strawberry jam and wondered, how do those tiny berries turn into something so smooth, sweet, and irresistible? Behind every spoonful lies a fascinating journey you're about to discover. Every delicious jar of strawberry jam begins with something simple yet essential: healthy fruit. In this highly controlled environment, robots plant young strawberry seedlings into pots filled with fluffy, nutrient-rich soil. These containers are carefully calibrated to provide just the right balance of moisture and nutrients. The irrigation system ensures each plant receives the precise amount of water it needs. This level of attention at the early stages of growth helps produce strawberries that are not only vibrant in color but also rich in flavor and natural sweetness. Once the strawberries reach full ripeness, a fleet of robotic arms gets to work. These machines are programmed to detect the exact color and firmness of ripe strawberries. They carefully extend, grasp the fruit from the stem, and cut it without bruising or damaging the flesh. Since the strawberries are planted at multiple heights and angles, the robots are designed with adjustable reach and vision systems. Watching them work is both mesmerizing and efficient, a ballet of automation designed to preserve quality and speed. After harvesting, the strawberries are delivered to the quality control area. Here, each batch is weighed and counted. Trained workers manually inspect a portion to ensure size, ripeness, and no damage or mold. Next, the berries go through a double washing process. The first wash uses water and gentle vibrations to remove dirt, dust, and insects. The second wash applies a fine mist of chlorine dioxide or similar sanitizing solution to eliminate pesticide residue and bacteria, making the fruit clean and safe to eat. With cleaning done, it's time to remove the green tops, or hulls, of the strawberries. Specialized machines scan each berry to locate the leafy crown and trim it with high-speed precision tools. What makes this step so impressive is that the machines avoid cutting into the soft fruit, preserving its full shape and weight. The hulled strawberries are then sorted into food-grade containers and sent through a rapid freezing process. This locks in the vibrant flavor and color until they're ready to become jam. To begin making jam, frozen strawberries are moved to large stainless steel mixing tanks. Sugar is added in carefully measured amounts depending on the desired sweetness and batch size. Technicians use digital control panels to monitor the weight, temperature, and mixing speed. These systems ensure consistency across every batch. The mixture is gently stirred, allowing the sugar to begin dissolving and drawing out natural juices from the fruit, forming the base for the jam. The fruit sugar mixture is now ready to be cooked. It enters industrial-sized kettles where it's slowly heated. During this stage, pectin, a natural thickening agent, is added. This helps the jam reach the ideal texture, not too runny, not too firm. Temperature and time are closely monitored to ensure the jam cooks evenly and doesn't burn. As the mixture simmers, the aroma of fresh strawberries fills the factory. Technicians perform regular tests for consistency, color, and taste before moving to the next step. After the jam base is cooked, it must be cooled slightly to help the flavors blend and settle. This resting period is crucial. It gives the natural fruit sugars and pectin time to create that smooth, spoonable texture. The mixture is gently churned while cooling to prevent separation. It's during this phase that the jam develops its final glossy appearance and rich, layered taste. It's a delicate balance of science and culinary craftsmanship. Now it's time to fill the jars. Empty glass jars are fed onto a conveyor belt where they are sterilized using heat or UV light. The warm jam flows through nozzles that automatically fill each jar with a precise amount. Sensors check for fill levels and adjust flow in real time. The goal is consistency. Every jar should contain the same quantity and quality. The line moves quickly but smoothly with efficiency and hygiene as top priorities. Lids are lined up and guided by a mechanical arm onto each filled jar. The sealing process uses a combination of pressure and heat to create an airtight bond, locking in freshness. This ensures the jam can be stored safely for months without refrigeration. Every lid is checked by sensors to confirm it's properly secured. This step is vital for food safety and quality control. Before labeling, the jars are cleaned again to remove any spills or sticky residue. High-speed labelers then wrap each jar with a branded sticker that includes nutritional information, ingredients, and expiration date. Some facilities also use laser-printed codes for batch tracking. This attention to detail helps consumers trust what they're buying and makes it easier to trace any product back to its origin if needed. Finally, the labeled jars are packed into sturdy cartons or display boxes. Some go to grocery stores, others to food service outlets. Mini-sized jam packets are also produced for restaurants and hotels. Each box is scanned, sealed, and sent to cold storage or directly to trucks for delivery. From planting to packing, the journey of strawberry jam is a blend of nature, technology, and care. And if you're curious about how other everyday foods are made, stay tuned for our next video. Ever wondered what goes into that iconic, snappy bite of a hot dog? With over 20 billion consumed annually in the US alone, hot dogs aren't just popular, they're a cultural phenomenon. Today, we'll take you behind the scenes into the high-speed, high-tech world of hot dog manufacturing, where tradition meets industrial precision. From baseball games to backyard barbecues, few foods are as distinctly American as the hot dog. But how does raw meat transform into the familiar frank nestled in a bun? The journey involves specialized ingredients, mechanical artistry, food safety science, and a touch of history. In this video, you'll witness every stage, from sourcing to seasoning, casing to cooking, packaging to perfection. The modern hot dog has its roots in 13th century Europe. Sausage, typically a mix of pork, beef, and spices, is a common staple in cities like Frankfurt and Vienna. When German immigrants arrived in America in the 1800s, they brought this culinary legacy with them. On Coney Island in the late 1800s, Charles Feltman changed everything. He began selling hot sausages inside buns, creating a portable meal that revolutionized American street food. By the early 20th century, the hot dog had become a cultural icon, served at ballparks, fairs, and diners nationwide. Hot dog production begins with meat, traditionally a mix of pork and beef, though modern versions also include chicken, turkey, and even plant-based alternatives. Large industrial suppliers deliver meat in bulk, which then undergoes strict inspection for freshness, safety, and quality. After trimming away unwanted fat or sinew, only the optimal cuts are kept. The exact meat blend determines texture, juiciness, and flavor. Plant-based hot dogs mimic this process with protein isolates, starches, and natural flavoring. The trimmed meat is ground in industrial grinders until it forms a fine paste. This creates the hot dog's smooth consistency. The next step, flavor. Each brand adds a unique blend of seasonings, garlic, coriander, paprika, white pepper, and salt to craft their signature taste. Emulsifiers are added to bind fat, meat, and spices together into a stable mixture. Water or ice is mixed in to maintain low temperatures during blending. This prevents protein breakdown, which could lead to poor texture. Once blended, the meat emulsion is piped into casings. There are two types: cellulose casings, synthetic, used for uniform shape and removed later. Natural casings, made from cleaned animal intestines, preferred for their snap when bitten. Automatic machines fill, twist, and link the sausages in rapid succession. This stage transforms the meat paste into neat rows of hot dogs, ready for cooking. Next comes cooking. Hot dogs are moved through massive steam ovens to ensure they're fully pre-cooked and safe. Some hot dogs are also smoked using hardwoods like hickory or applewood. This adds depth of flavor and creates that subtle, charred note many hot dog lovers crave. In high-end facilities, the smoking process is carefully controlled, monitoring temperature, humidity, and wood type to deliver a consistent flavor profile. After cooking, hot dogs are quickly cooled to prevent bacterial growth. This also firms up the texture. For cellulose-cased hot dogs, the next step is peeling. Using pressurized steam, the synthetic casing is removed, leaving a smooth, polished product. Hot dogs in natural casings retain their skin, offering a more traditional and gourmet feel. Before packaging, hot dogs undergo multiple inspections. Visual checks, texture testing, and even X-ray scans ensure there are no inconsistencies or foreign materials. Any defective hot dogs are discarded or redirected for secondary processing. Brands adhere to strict FDA guidelines and maintain sanitation standards to keep products safe for the public. Once approved, hot dogs are either flash frozen or vacuum sealed, depending on whether they'll be stored or shipped immediately. They're then placed into airtight plastic packages, many of which now include resealable features for consumer convenience. As sustainability becomes more important, companies are also exploring compostable or recyclable packaging options. In today's market, hot dogs come in more varieties than ever. From jalapeno cheddar to cheese-filled franks and even organic and plant-based options, manufacturers continue to innovate. Regional styles like the Chicago dog, Sonoran dog, or Korean-style hot dogs with crispy coatings reflect how this humble sausage continues to evolve across cultures. So, next time you take a bite of a hot dog, whether it's at a picnic, a baseball game, or your kitchen, you're tasting more than just meat and spices. You're tasting centuries of tradition, industrial mastery, and continuous innovation. What's your favorite way to enjoy a hot dog? Classic mustard and ketchup? Or something a little bolder? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the food you love. See you in the next bite-sized adventure. Peanut butter and chocolate. Two flavors that feel like they were made for each other. But have you ever wondered how they actually come together inside one of America's most iconic candies, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups? Let's step inside the factory where this sweet magic happens. Reese's isn't just a candy, it's a cultural legend. First created in 1928 by H.B. Reese as a penny cup, this simple treat has become Hershey's #1 bestseller. Today, Reese's has expanded far beyond the classic cup, inspiring spin-offs like Reese's Pieces, Take 5, Big Cups, and even popcorn and cookies. But behind all these creations lies the same secret: the perfect harmony of peanut butter and chocolate. So how do they make millions of these perfect little cups every day? Let's find out. It all begins with the humble peanut. Every week, the Reese's facility in Hershey, Pennsylvania receives enormous 2,500-pound sacks filled with runner peanuts from farms across the southeastern United States. These peanuts are carefully selected for their consistency and flavor profile. Once at the factory, forklifts lift and empty the super sacks into large hoppers, where the peanuts begin their transformation. Before anything else, the peanuts need to be cleaned. They pass through a vibrating shaker that removes rocks, shells, and any leftover debris. Then they're carried into massive tunnel roasters. Here, they're roasted for 35 minutes at a temperature of 289 degrees Fahrenheit. Interestingly, Reese's roast their peanuts just a bit more than usual, an over-roasting technique that was originally discovered by accident. That slight extra roasting gives Reese's peanut butter its uniquely bold and nutty flavor, as well as a granular texture that fans adore. After roasting, the peanuts are headed for blanching. They roll along a rough, vibrating surface that loosens their papery skins, which are then blown away by jets of air. What's left are clean, golden peanuts, ready to become butter. They're dropped into an industrial grinder, where two steel plates rotate just millimeters apart, crushing the peanuts into warm, rich peanut butter. Once ground, the peanut butter isn't quite ready yet. It's pumped into mixing tanks where sugar, salt, and hydrogenated oil are added. The oil helps stabilize the mixture and prevents oil separation. This creates the smooth, spreadable base we all know. Some of this peanut butter is bottled and sold in jars, but most of it is reserved for the candy production line. It's stored in massive barrels in the lower level of the factory, each one big enough to satisfy a peanut butter lover for years. To make it perfect for Reese's cups, the peanut butter goes through one more refinement. It's lifted from storage into a large mixer where powdered sugar, emulsifiers, and a bit of salt are added. The final ingredient is dextrose, a sugar that not only sweetens but intensifies the roasted peanut flavor. The result is a thick, sweet, and slightly gritty filling that pairs perfectly with chocolate. On the other side of the factory, the chocolate begins its own journey. Cocoa beans are ground into chocolate liquor and mixed with milk, cocoa butter, sugar, and powdered lactose to create what's called a crumb, a chocolatey, wet, sand-like substance. The crumb is then refined into fine powder, mixed again in a conch machine, and finally transformed into smooth liquid chocolate through a process called tempering. This heating and cooling process ensures the chocolate finishes with a glossy, snappy texture. Before anything can be filled, paper liners must be laid down. These liners are automatically dropped into trays moving along a conveyor belt. Workers monitor the line to make sure every cup is in place and not doubled up or off-center. Precision at this stage ensures every Reese's cup will be perfectly shaped. Now, the real magic happens. First, liquid chocolate is deposited into the paper liners to form the base. Air jets and vibration plates help spread it evenly. Then, from an extruder above, perfect peanut butter plugs are dropped precisely into the center of each cup. The conveyor vibrates gently again to help the filling settle. Finally, another layer of chocolate is poured on top and smoothed with air to create that flawless surface. The cups travel into a long, 35-foot cooling tunnel set at 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Over the next 35 minutes, the chocolate hardens into the perfect bite, creamy yet with a firm snap. After cooling, robotic arms lift the cups from their molds and place them onto another conveyor. The cups are then paired because who eats just one Reese's? Each pair is heat-sealed inside the classic orange wrapper, with the line producing around 800 pairs per minute. From here, they're boxed, loaded onto refrigerated trucks, and shipped across the country. From peanut to perfection, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are a brilliant blend of careful process and happy accident. What started in a basement has become a national obsession. Whether you like the original, big cups, pieces, or something new, there's a Reese's for everyone. What's your favorite? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more behind-the-scenes looks at your favorite foods.